who are they? That what I want to explore is I do this, would you call it channeling? I sit with a client, anyway, this is what I do. I sit with a client and I know there's guidance there and I'm very aware that it somehow seems to be external from me. Whether it is external from me or not is a different thing. But I look in a certain place in the room and I get ideas and I get information about them and I get things that will help them change, which I relate to them. And it's downloaded in like a block, so that a couple of seconds I'll get an idea or words. I can't explain it, but it's like a block is downloaded, and then I'll turn to the client and I'll talk to them for 20 minutes and I have all these amazing things coming out that are things that will help them, things of where they are, where they've put in the past, things that are running them now, and ideas to get rid of that, and all sorts of things that are in this block of a second looking up there. So what I want to explore today is, what am I looking at? Where's it coming from? And who are they, if there are a they? So, who are you? And the answer is, it's not who are you, it's what are you? And really, you is not the right term, except we can only think of another consciousness as a being, as a person, and we can't get into our heads that another consciousness could be just it, a thing. It has to be, we personify it, so it has to be a person, but it's actually not a person. And what are you? They are a consciousness of thoughts because they come into our consciousness and interact with us on that consciousness because they know that that's where they have to interact with us. If we want to consciously know that this energy, I'll call it, is around, they do it consciously, but they also do it other ways as well, so that if you're asking for, a lot of people ask for signs, or they ask for a message, so that you can get it through a book, you can get it through the radio, you can get it through a piece of music, you can get it through a friend saying something, or the checkout girl in the supermarket says something, and you go, wow. Like a little while ago, I just had a big aha moment from something I watched on YouTube. So that is going on all the time. We're sitting in that energy all the time. It's like you've got a mobile phone up to your ear the whole time in your life, and you're either listening to it or you're not. So that sometimes you just zone out and you just put the phone down here, and then suddenly you realise that the phone's there, you put it back to your ear again, and that's what's happening throughout life. Sometimes you're tuned into it, and sometimes you're not. Sometimes you're aware you're tuned into it, and sometimes you're aware you're not. That you're not aware that you're tuned into it. So it's there all the time. We're like sitting in it. It's like a soup that we're sitting in. And I might be a bit of carrot, and my friend over here, Veronica, might be a bit of potato, and you might be a pea, and your friend might be a bit of gravy, but we're all sitting in this soup of this energy, and there's no way possibly that you can get out of it, because it is life. It's what's called life. So life is creativity, and when you're living, you're constantly creating. Even if you think you're not creating at a moment, you are creating. If you take a step forward, you're creating a step. Literally, physically taking a step. If you're breathing, you're creating a breath. If your heart's beating, you're creating a heartbeat. So there's no way that you could say I'm not a creative person, because you are. Because just because you're living, you're actually a creative person. So that this energy is the force that we draw upon to give us life force, to produce this creativity. So you could say that this energy is creativity. Right? So what happens when I'm dealing with this life force is that it produces to me what seems to me to be a guide. So that they know that I expect to see or feel a guide. So therefore, they go, put this energy together and put this little image together for me that is a guide, so that I'm comfortable with taking that, what's said, what's downloaded to me, and what's reverberating through me, and passing it on. And I always think that when I sit here that, and the first time I said it, I felt a bit big-headed. It's actually true that whatever is working through me is in my aura, it's in my energy all around me. And when people sit over there in the chair, they're sitting in my aura. So even if they're not getting what I'm saying in their understanding, they're getting something else just by sitting in that energy. You know that people have got energy because you can walk into a room and you can look across the room and you look at somebody that you've never met before and you go, do you like them? And what's happened is your energy's gone out, it's felt their energy, it's come back and gone, you don't like them. And what we do is we override that feeling that you get introduced to this person and you say, oh, they're all right, I'll be their friend. Then 6 months down the track, something happens, you go, whoa, whoa, why didn't I listen to that first thing? Women do it a lot with men. They meet a man, they know there's something, they hear warning bells right at the beginning of the relationship, they go on for years in the relationship, and then they go, this isn't working. It didn't work from the beginning, you just didn't listen to your energy. It's a very powerful tool for you to listen to. It also tells you positive things as well, and sometimes you ignore them. That you feel that this is somewhere you should go in your life, but you actually don't go there. Even though it feels right, you know it would be good for you, but you ignore that feeling. That's the energy of life palpating through you and saying, go for it, go for it. But it's up to us to make the decision whether we go for it or not. It doesn't matter to that energy, to life, whether we actually go for what's presented or not. It's the word I could use is bland, but that doesn't really fit it. If we ignore something, there is no reprimand from that energy. It's just like, oh well, if it's appropriate, it will be offered again in a different way. And then if you miss that offer, then it will be offered again in a different way. And it will keep doing that because it's what you plan for yourself. It's what you want. So this energy that I'm talking to, or communicating with, or seeing, or feeling, or passing on to other people, or using through my hands when I do hands-on healing, is basically the creativity of life itself. And what you can do is you can tune into that. When you know you can tune into it, then you can use it for your own benefit. And this energy does not mind being used because that's what it's for. It is to create the best life that everybody could possibly have. It also interacts with plants and animals and the environment, the sea and the fish and everything else, the weather, everything else that's in the universe. It's interacting with that because that is creation.